Joining me now is Ashley Spence. She is the founder of DNA Justice Project. Ashley, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's talk about the work of the DNA Justice Project. What does it all consist of?
Thank you. I came into this work because I was a 19-year-old college student in Arizona, and I was a victim of a very brutal home invasion rape by a stranger in the middle of the night while I was asleep. I was very fortunate to have survived. To be here today is a miracle, but he got away and I never saw his face. I worked day and night with detectives, and unfortunately there just were no leads. And it was not until 2010, so 7 years after my attack, I got the shocking news there was a DNA match in the database. So my perpetrator was caught in California trying to break into a home where 3 young women lived all those years later. In California, they are one of 19 states that collect DNA upon all felony arrest. So when he tried to resist the officer's arrest, they took him down to the booking station, they took his fingerprints, his photographs, and they swabbed his cheeks, a minimally invasive cheek swab, uploaded it to our national database CODIS, and it hit a match back to mine and others all those years before. He was a violent serial predator, but because of this law, he's now in prison for nearly 137.5 years, unable to harm another person again. So after trial ended, I felt so fortunate because I have justice. But all victims deserve justice. And I was shocked to find out that there were so many loopholes keeping people from actually having this justice, and that not every state collects DNA upon all felony arrest. So all 50 states do upon felony conviction, which is the same with DC. But 31 of those collect for certain violent felony arrests and burglary, and then 19 for all felonies. As the law stands in DC, and even in the state of Arizona where I was raped, my perpetrator would still be free to rape and harm other women because that would not have qualified as an arrest that they would swab his cheek for. So it is now my mission to try to protect others. I'm a mother to really give this justice to other people.
So when we talk about the DNA Justice Project, is it a combination of advocacy work and raising awareness?
Both, yes. Education of policymakers and the public. It's a 501c4, so it is a nonprofit, but I travel around legislatively and just to spread the word about what an amazing and powerful tool we need to continue to maximize.
Talk about why is uncollected DNA a problem?
It is a very, very big problem. So when we are missing these people, and what we're talking about particularly here, we're talking about, I want everyone to remember, these are felony arrests. So serious offenses arrest. We need to be collecting in every single state. The problem when we don't is not only our victims and their families that are waiting for justice, will it be withheld? We have innocent people sitting in our prisons today, wrongfully accused, wrongfully convicted, and we need to test the DNA. When we are not testing the DNA, we are also leaving people that did not commit crimes in prison and leaving real serial violent predators in the streets of the communities of our children.
So talk about the importance of DNA collection.
It is critically important. You know, DNA is science and it's truth. And what people don't know about the database, especially now, they think everything goes in there, right? Like 23andMe. That's not it at all. What goes into our national DNA database, it wouldn't say that I'm Lebanese, that I'm predisposed to any genetic diseases. It doesn't even have a name. It is a very, very good system. It is not searchable by third parties. You cannot be precluded from getting a job by having your DNA in the database. It's not searchable by others. What is public is your arrest record, but not the numbers of your DNA. And I think it's important to note that it is a federal law and requirement. If you are found not guilty, you have to be able to have your DNA completely expunged and destroyed from the database. There are heavy fines. The Office of the Inspector General does annual audits on the labs and random audits. So it is good for not only preventing crime, protecting, you know, the future victims, maybe they will never have to become one, but it also protects the privacy of those that are arrested.
Ashley, what's the difference between being a survivor and a victim?
Oh, that's a tough one. You know, one day I feel like a survivor. One day I feel it's a hard journey. But what I feel like helped me to survive was knowing that my case was cared for, that people were actually looking out for the victims, that we were trying to find the right person. I never saw his face. I never wanted the wrong person to have to pay the time for this crime. But DNA and this legislation, a great team investigating it, it gave us that certainty. And that has empowered me. And I want everyone, we can't control the outcomes of everything, but we do have the tools to prevent this from happening and to make everybody else feel like they are survivors as well, not just a victim. It's how we treat them, and it's making sure that we're doing everything possible to give them justice.
Ashley Spence, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a true honor.